All right, so we got pick a pile messages, and I just realized I didn't pick anything out for. I guess we could use the. Let's see. We could use the tarot for the pile indicators at least. How about that? That'd be nice. So pile number 1 we have, and this is, you guys, the zombie tarot. And pile number 2 is the Bobo version, I guess, of the romantic tarot. And pile number 1, you guys, represents our singles, okay, for those that care. And pile number 2 is going to represent for us tonight those that are in a connection, those that claim to know and love someone already, right? Somebody that isn't just in your auric field, but maybe sometimes in that physicality, okay? Love and light, eat me. Okay, so again, pile number 1, you guys, is going to be for our singles, and we're pulling from the zombie tarot. All right, but before we get to that, the overarching love and light, Vera, the overarching message for tonight, irregardless of whether you're here in hopes of new love or you're here in hopes of surviving the love you know. No, let me stop. Pile number 2. Oh, we gotta talk though, I promise. But anyways, accept your own divinity, you guys. They made cards about it because it's really a thing. All right. So everything is a manifestation of God, source energy, goddess energy, however you subscribe here. But I like to say source because it's like all encompassing, the all in all, right? The ultimate source energy. Sure, no worries. I just I didn't ring the bell yet, Vera. I just wanted to get into the general message really quick for the overarching message, and then I got you, I promise, babe. So, when you know that the power that is life is literally inside of you, your physical meat suit, right? You accept your own divinity and yet are humble because you see the same divinity in everyone else. All right. Now, I digress. I didn't make the card. Love and light, Freaky J. Love and light, J. And so I kind of want to give, this is love talking, right? I just want to give my little 2 cents because I love ya. Makes sense. Okay. Um, and so I'm not here to say that everyone else that you may know and dare I say have ever loved, okay, goes back to that same source. All right. It just can't always be the case. It can be, though. So be mindful of that and be humble. All right. But please, if you take nothing else from that, accept the divinity you are. Make sense? You are a fractal form of source. Okay. Whether you call source God, goddess, or higher selves. No severability. Makes sense? So be mindful. All right. And be mindful of that. I guess that's why it's coming out for a love type of situation, or love spread, I should say, is basically, when you honor like your divinity, you're not able to really cast your pearls before swine. You're not really able to find yourself in some of those precarious situations, or dare I say positions, that, you've known, okay, whoever I'm speaking to. So dealing with pile number 1, we're going to say that that's going to be 4 on the timer. If somebody could be kind enough to help your girl out with the pick a pile timestamps, I'd really appreciate it. But again, minute 4 is going to be pile number 1. Thank you so much, Farah. No, you don't owe me like a my bad, I promise. So, and yeah, I need to just like focus and like get through so we're not here for like 14 hours, right? King of Wands is coming out for pile number 1. You guys can't even see, so let me just channel off of what I can see. All right. You're tired of the deadbeats, right? You're tired of the less thans, the less than desirables. Okay. And again, this is pile number 1 for our singles out of the collective. I feel like that's high key an understatement. Like maybe you've ever known up to this point has been basically just that, the kind that you probably shouldn't even associate with. Make sense? Um, and so I get that there's this disgruntled energy coming out of your pile, and bam, the tower moment. So maybe this is you kind of like high key pissed off at the universe. It's like, yeah, I've been manifesting, I've been wanting and waiting and wishing, hoping, praying, right? And it's like, maybe that's why we got to talk about some of the things to do versus some of the things not to do so much, if ever, right? Which would be things like high key stressing about the situation, right? Getting into disgruntled energies, such to the point where, to your detriment, you're actually, again, emitting that vibe or the frequency where the divine universe is going to say, okay, that's how you want to play it. All right, you're ordering up a whole tower or shit storm of deadbeats, right? And maybe unknowingly, that's why we're talking about it, guys. Love and light on Fonz. Happy New Year, babe. So happy to see you, and happy Friday night to you too. That's so amazing. I love that. So tower energy for the singles makes sense. Okay, that you would be in disgruntled energies. You're being met with people that just don't even meet you where you're at, right? Can be very aggressively disgruntling. All right. Now here's the sitch. 9 of Wands coming out for you now, singles. Um, you're at the path where you're kind of at a crossroads, singles. Okay. We're at the very tippy top beginning of the new year, 2025. Okay. And a lot has happened, and yet a lot has not happened. Okay. I'm addressing the toxicity that can be attached with the 9 of Wands for a reason. And so I'm not calling anyone out. No one here from anyone's spiritual guidance team or any source of anything, okay, is here intentioning to call anyone out simply and solely for being single or at all. Okay, so please just take a breath with me, singles. Like, I know the disgruntled energy, don't lie. All right, I'm picking it up and I'm saying don't get stuck there, babe. It's an illusion. It's a test, if anything, right? I'm hearing this is a test. This is only a test. All right. The 9 of Wands speaks to Love and Light Jay. The 9 of Wands, I think I said, maybe you were speaking to somebody else. So sorry. The 9 of Wands speaks to almost there, pending, right? And yet we're talking about it still, and that's disgruntling, but we've got to take a look at why we're talking about some aspects of the path still. Okay. And it's because of that toxic energy that can easily be talked about when we do have the 9 of Wands come out. Okay, and I'm showing you I got the 9 of Wands. I'm not just calling you out talking about, well, the card probably came out. No, it came out. Okay. And I do see peeking from behind it is the 9 of Cups. Why did I say that? Hi, P. Love and light. Not the 9 of Cups. So sorry. There could be some significance to the number 99. You could be seeing in synchronicity to the singles. Doesn't have to be the case. I'm trying to say it's not even cups. The 9 of Wands. My God, help. Okay. I'm also looking at the 4 of Cups behind the Knight. We're going to address this so that you guys aren't actually actioning out to the point where you stay single, right? Nobody wants that. That's why you're still here. Makes sense, okay? On the other side of you kind of like chilling out the mental space and really continuing to open and keep open that heart space. And I know that's maybe easier said than done. Okay, because whoever I'm speaking to, let's be honest, you feel like, well, I've been there, done that, and I got hurt so damn bad. I only have 1/4 of my fucking heart left, right? Heal that though, because like the person that actually is the epitome of like the opposite of casting pearls before swine, when they come in to swoop de whoop you, you need to be ready, which would be inclusive of healing out of that energy, right? Like you don't want to be like, the poor person's all like, honey, I'm home. You're like, I've been waiting for 49 years. Right? Like, go, whoa, like, I just got home from work, honey. What do you mean 49 years? Where is this coming from? And really, it's coming from some aspect of being unhealed, and you got triggered while the person was at work, perhaps even. Gosh, how tower moment like, right? Do you want more of the towers? Probably not, not the ones that are born out of that toxicity aspect attached to the Nine of Wands that we kind of can't really let slide by any longer because you're not wanting to stay single. Makes sense. Here's the situation about love anyhow. It's unconditional. Starts with you though, you know what I mean? Could be some significance to LGBTQ plus community. I'm not getting simply and solely that. This is kind of like a you with you. I almost said versus, right? Didn't feel loving enough. See what I mean? Love you, right? Way more, okay, with more of a softer, loving type of vibe, okay, intention, maybe even touch, right? You know, caressing your own skin, perhaps, especially if you feel like you don't remember the last time that you had any kind of human contact, right? A hug, a glance, even, right? You know, show up for you, okay? That way the universe understands you're ready for the person, the one, perhaps, right? Just whoop de whoop right in, and you're not ripping their face off while they're running towards you to love you by accident because you've done the work, all right, to allow for this to come in. Now, this is not a blame game situation like, oh yeah, like it's damn sure just simply and solely your fault that you're single. I'm not here to say that. My goodness, it's not even always the truth depending on who I'm addressing. Okay, so that's not fair. Be more loving towards you. Okay, love and light, Fiona. Yes, Vera, the healthy kind. Exactly. Okay, now part and parcel of loving you more, okay, really is checking in and making sure that you're having some fun. Can't always be serious all the time, right? And so you're being guided to, again, there's that inner child coming out. Hey, let's play, right? Play like a child. The happiest moments in your life are when you're playing. Just like a child, perhaps singing, dancing, might be of some assistance to your collective, especially if you're resonating as being single. Hear me out, all right? Stranger things have happened. When you're exploring and creating just for fun, you're actually just being. Okay. It's wonderful when you can really energetically be alive and just be. Okay. In those moments, you're actually being your most authentic self. And again, you can't really sever that inner child. All right. So, hey, Vera, if your inner child's a pervert, I mean, there's really no severability there. You know what I mean? To use your word. But love and light nonetheless. I mean, it is what it is. Explore that. You know what I mean? Get to the root of that, perhaps. And balance that out too, you know, just like anything else, dark and light we need, right? So you can't be serious all the time. Stands to reason. Silliness is necessary too, right? Maybe there's some aspect of your perversion there, Vera, right? That works for you. As long as it's a healthy situation, you're okay with what you got going, and you're not hurting yourself and or anyone else. I feel like the universe understands, right? You know, we're all to some level and measure and degree asked to wave our own freak flag anyhow. So it stands to reason that you can have a little fun with it in childlike wonderment energy as well, just to really hone in the exact kind of experience that you desire and you deserve. All right. And maybe even I'm hearing to say beyond your wildest dreams, right? Take the restrictions off, I'm hearing to say. Okay, so to begin a great relationship, know what you want here, singles. Okay. Um, some of you think you want love, right? And gosh, I'm not here to say you don't deserve that. My goodness, I would never say that. And I love, and I love for you. And you know, you deserve love. You're worthy of that. Okay. Here's the sitch, though. A lot of you are, you know, asking for love, expecting for love, looking for love, and you don't know all the ways within which to love yourself yet. Oh, and therein lies the detriment. Therein lies that toxicity with the Nine of Wands. And again, the Nine of Wands goes to almost there. The Nine of Wands goes to travel, transition, new phase, new life, new lifestyle, new you, new year, right? But yet the toxicity is so readily available should you choose to pull from its bouquet right? Which can go like into egoic based fears or energies and or mindsets, okay? Well, how about now? We're almost there. How about now? There's that toxic inner child, that lower density vibes version of the inner child coming through, right? Caillou comes to mind. God, I don't understand how in the hell that was actually no offense, but I don't understand how that's actually like stuff, or not even stuff, it's a children's program, that you would even show to even suggest to anyone else, inclusive of anyone else's child, whether yours or not, to even act in or action out in some of those mannerisms and mindsets and ideations that Caillou, with his irritatingly whining voice, right? So calm the inner Caillou, right? Because left uncentered, ungrounded, it's going to show, and of course it would show in your money. Yeah, that too. You thought I was going to say relationships, but it's beyond that. It's all connected. Again, going back to that divinity. Why would we talk about that? Because you have a birthright, and it's inclusive of abundance, inclusive of money, and love. So, love and accept yourselves here, honey bun, just the way you are. That's part and parcel of getting somebody that can do it too. Okay? Literally the cheat code. Love is the medicine that accelerates healing. And I want to talk about this one. Being guided to show you the card. I don't know that you can see it all the way, but here we are. Love yourself, love your neighbor, love your enemies, but begin with self-love. See, they made a card. It wasn't even me, right? Like, I talk about this all the time, but like, it must be for a reason because they made cards about it. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't even me. Just saying. You cannot love others until you love yourself. Singles, anyone under the sound of my voice. Okay. You cannot share what you do not have. So if you don't have an experience of understanding what the fuck love is versus what it isn't, be honest with yourselves. Did you finish loving you all the ways yet? So that you can say, no, I fully understand that I love myself, versus when moments you're maybe choosing to not. They become far more easily identifiable when you should find yourselves, if by chance, I'm not here to word curse you and say you should, in some lower density energies. Okay, when you're not actioning out as quite as loving or self-loving towards yourself, when you should be choosing to most assuredly do just that. Okay, if you do not love yourself, you cannot love anyone else either, at least not in rightful, proper manner that would be found outside the bounds of toxicity. And that's why we're talking about it, because we're still at this 9 of Wands. Okay, I want you in the 9 of Wands singles, okay, especially if you're resonating with this, to be in the non-toxic version of 9 of Wands. It's giving Princess Tiana. We're almost there. Right? Right. Because that's what exactly 9 of Wands means. Makes sense? Just like it can also dually mean that toxic vibe, but we don't got to choose that one, remember? So now that you remember, yeah, now that we remember, we're going to what? Live like it and love ourselves like it, so that we can love that one, the chosen, right? A little bit later, right? I mean, if you don't do any of this work, if you don't really actually action some of this stuff out, you don't really choose you in love and in light first, you're delaying this. And then it takes us back to the freaking 9 of Wands toxicity. And that's so avoidable, especially now that you know how to avoid it, right? Right. Okay. So show up for you, babe, so that somebody else can too. You know what I mean? Don't be so greedy. No, let me stop. But seriously, I mean, we're all connected, and aren't you worthy of being loved? Right? Aren't others worthy, perhaps, in possibility? Maybe you don't have like a whole laundry list of names. I get that. Shoot. Let me find out if you do have one, because that's kind of odd, right? Like, what you mean you chose and you got a whole list of people that love you and fuck with you and don't talk about you behind your back and don't secretly and or openly compete with your ass. That's funny. So I like to see that list. Really. I mean, maybe one day soon, on the other side of some of this work, we will actually most assuredly have lists in this new earth energy that we've been talking about for months. All right. It's a unicorn, Fiona. Love and light. So let's talk your singles and close out your reading so I can get to the bell before we head on over to pile number 2. Be open to being loved by another healthy person. Oh, yes. How would you get a healthy person if you were toxic? Now we know how we could possibly not have a healthy person coming towards us. Usually the prerequisite energy for that is not knowing your own worth. Being too damn tolerant for those that won't tolerate you, right? Casting pearls before swine. Love and light, Sean. So, gone are those days, though. So, what was the problem? Not a damn thing, because you love you. Always and in all ways, all right? And unapologetically. Yes, you do. I love that about you. I really do. You're capable of doing anything that you put your mind to here, inclusive of this collective, just saying. All right. You are filled with an incredible energy, and that goes back to that source, the all in all, right? Like, I didn't want to stop there at just God, goddess, right? Makes sense. So be enthusiastic about this. And by this, I'm really talking about your energy. Excuse me. I meant to say your divinity. Your energy is divinity. There's no severability. Makes sense? So get excited, get enthusiastic, get into your childlike wonderment about all of this. Pile number 1, singles, all right, in the collective. And tell yourselves, you are more than enough. Because you're more than enough, of course, you're going to get somebody really great knowing that on the other side of this work. Keep going. Who are you to dictate divine timing in all of this, right? Many of us, if we should try, we're going to find ourselves half-baked in a situation or accepting someone half-baked. Maybe there's some significance to that, right? Like, it's like, do you want somebody that's always not present to be around you physically? Why? That sounds like a damn ball and chain. Not even a relationship. Not even good vibes. Work on your judgment of self, all right? That's going to help you judge your value, all right? Your worthiness all the more accurately if you're less critical, less judgy, dare I say, okay? Some of us, we have fallen prey to the illusion in moon cycles past, okay? Not now, not in current energies, but we're talking about history for a second just to make sure we don't have to relearn it again. Makes sense, collective. Where, you had been operating in an ideation mentality, a mindset that went kind of like this. It's easy to love everyone but me. Gone are those days, though. Now you're half-assing any kind of love, caring, connection, if you are unloving towards yourself. So it's really going to be much more loving to not be critical towards yourselves at this time and to stop some of the judgment. I mean, how is it helping if it hurts? Right? Be nice to you, because again, there's no severability between you and that divinity. So what you say about you, what you accept about you, you accept and say and think and feel about the divine. Makes sense? They made cards about it. It's a thing. I didn't make them. And know that, irregardless of perfection existing, whether or not it does, I personally have a mindset that it can't in this realm. Okay. Like absolute perfection, you're funny. Take the pressure off, babe. But if you want it to exist, okay, it can. And it goes like this. You are perfection. Just the way you are. All right. Because whoever I'm speaking to, you're ever making change towards your advancement and not your regression. And be mindful of that when those triggers come. Oh, I'll never what? Never lose. even at the game of love, if you want to make it a game. But here's the Sitch Collective. This is the last thing I'll say about this for the singles. If you want to make love a game, bet on yourself first. All right. So the bell has rung. Those that know what to do may do so now. And thank you for being here. It really doesn't work so well without you. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday night. And I know I am. So thank you. You're part and parcel of my joy on a Friday night. I'm grateful to say that, you guys. I love you guys. All right, let's see what, pray tell, kind of questions we got going on here. Love and light, Laura. I didn't see you come in. Love and light. Okay, let's see. Yes, Vera, in a healthy manner and dealing with it. Love it, love it, love it. Keep it going, right? I would rather hear somebody talk about facing something, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was ugly, than not facing, right? Avoidance is never really the answer. It shouldn't be on the menu for us at this point, you guys. I tell you if it was, okay? Hell, if I'm being honest, I might be one of the first people to sign up to avoid whatever the, you know, like whatever the option was. It ain't there for such a time as this. Just saying, triple check that menu just in case. This is not the vibe. Avoidance is not the vibe. Okay, let me see here. Make sure I didn't. I think we had Fiona up to bat first. So let's start there. All right. Well, if this Pisces is in masculine energy or is a male, Emperor at the bottom of the deck, it's giving a yes, and they're thinking, I mean, 10 of Pentacles is like a yes to everything. You're like, yes, please, and thank you, mummy, right? So I think that, you know, when this person in their masculine energy, which talks about like go-getter energy, which talks about, you know, being decisive and taking the lead, keywords there, thinks about you, they think about the long haul. And the answer, regardless, is yes, Fiona. Okay, love and light. Okay, let me not forget you, Vera. So I'm going to do, I see, yes or no for Vera. Okay, so I have 3 cards, Vera. The first of which is no, right? Hear me out though. So this is the 5 of Wands. So that for me is like not really the greatest cards. Usually I often liken it to that of fuckery, right? But it's really the initial side of the answer, if that makes sense to say. Bear with. We next have for Vera the 6 of Swords, which talks about, as far as yes, no, a maybe, but hear me out. The bottom, it wasn't the bottom of the deck, I'm sorry. 3 cards came out simultaneously for you. And we've got the Justice card. You could have been seeing 11s. 1111 comes to mind, Vera, or you will be in synchronicity to this. But really what's being hidden from you, because moon energy is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and I just cut it to the deception card. All right. Really, what we discussed earlier, babe, is basically coming through, okay? The Justice on the other side, the 6 of Wands, right? Talks about that connectivity, that lineage, and then ultimately Justice is like being on the great side of karma, which ties back to, you know, I feel like you don't want me to say too much. So that's what's going on. It's not necessarily, it's like there's a direct connection there, but like as far as actual like full-on incarnation, not quite the case, if that makes sense. But definitely not any form or measure of severability from that entity, we'll say, as well as yourself. Okay, so that's the best way I can kind of say that in code. Hopefully I'm making sense. It's late. My God, help me. No pun intended. But anyways, all right, so that's what we got for Vera, which I did not forget. And now we're over to Alphonse. Okay. Oh, been praying for you, Alphonse and Jennifer. Something wants to come through because my nose is... It's the same card as ever, Alphonse. The Queen of Cups, yes. And look, Spirit's saying this is the truth. I think, you know, we talked about that 9 of Wands. It's telling me things don't connect yet, and it might be because, yeah. It's like when you want something so bad, you could actually kind of crush it a bit. If you're not careful, right? You're very welcome, Alphonse. Please know I'm sending love and light from afar. I promise you there. All right, buddy? Now, where is my phone? Because I need to make sure that I'm not missing something. Maybe there's some significance to that. Maybe it's sooner rather than later. You're very welcome, Alphonse. Okay, let me see here. Love and light to you, babe. We are all pulling for Alphonse. I swear, I am not joking, Alphonse. Like, I was praying for you and Jennifer, even whenever I was over in California. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I was like, put my petition out there, like, but you know, I can't get in the way of the lessons, right? And so you will be most assuredly strengthened on the other side of that, right? And thank you guys for pulling through for Alphonse and Jennifer, like Fiona stated. I know Fiona's not the only one, so I'm just going to thank everybody. So thank you, Fiona, and thank you, everyone. And thank you, Alphonse, okay? Don't give up, you know, but focus on you, okay? You heard the singles message. If you didn't, scroll it back, Alphonse, please, okay? All right, let's see here. Okay, it made perfect sense. Okay. I know, Vera, half of our DMs are like in code, I swear. Okay, let me see. Let's love and light, Joe. Okay, let me see. Okay. So probably not soon, right? Because no came out for you, Joe, right? But hear me out. It's like you got options around you. Ultimately, you do get victory and success in this matter, but there might be some aspect to like like obsessively I'm getting obsessively like thinking, ruminating over, or maybe even watching like maybe someone's account or these options accounts, or this is them watching yours. I just get something about like just, you know, jumping into something too soon kind of thing, like, and you're being asked to like have a different experience, right? So that you can pull in what you actually deserve, what you actually desire. I mean, the divine knows you're worthy. I think you're working on fine-tuning some of the details about your own realization about what makes you tick, what you deserve, right? You know, we often go from one partner to the next, understanding full well what we don't want. And yet sometimes we find ourselves dating the same mofo, right? Like, it's like they can look different. They can have different lineages, different races and creeds and all of that, be found in different demographical locations, and still be that same. You could have some of the same conversations from one person to the other, and you're like, what is going on? And what is going on is You're still finding out certain aspects about how to love yourself with more specificity so that you are in that vibrational frequency, which is Trump's words. Okay, people, they say, you know, I love you all the time. They don't even mean it, right? People ask all the time in society, "Ah, how are you doing?" They don't give a fuck. They don't even know they said that. Because then if you actually give them like, well, actually, I just got off the phone and like this is going on, they're all like, huh, perplexed. Like, are you talking to me? Right? There's something about like just really not tolerating the fuck shit that you're being asked to really make a decision about and allow this balance to come in and get out of the mental space regarding love. This is like sleepless nights energy. On the other side of that, you're finding people, places, and things, going back to that options, which was that original no card, interestingly enough, to want to work with you. And this would be really soon on the other side of you actually trying to figure out how are there other ways I could take care of myself where I feel loved better, where I feel safe better, where I feel seen and heard and appreciated better. All right, start with you because you're worthy, babe. You are a catch. Okay, it's not that these options are like, oh my god, never Joe. It's the other stuff. Okay, and again, this life is far more spiritual, so of course the divine's going to use like our pockets and our hearts to get our attention. Makes sense. So I see like that's basically what's going on for you. And temperance angel energy is coming out in assistance for you, but really speaking about the need for some of the balance regarding yourself, like motivation to see yourself in a higher light, right? Hopefully that makes sense, babe. But that's what I have for you, Joe. Love and light to you. Yeah, you've got a soulmate, Joe, coming. You know, you've got to fight for you though, not for them. Fight for you. Love you. Okay. And yeah, I don't know if you were with us, but we just banged out a singles reading. All right, singles spread at the beginning of this video. I think starting at minute 4. Please check it out. All right, because that might actually resonate with you. Okay. And if we're ready for pile number 2, I am. What do you think, you guys? Oh, we got Eat Me. All right. You're very welcome, Joe. I'm glad it makes sense. All right. So, financial freedom this year. Okay. So, we've got 3 of Cups. Yes. Okay. But it doesn't come without a price, a sacrifice, walking away from certain mentalities, certain habits, certain mindsets, certain autopilot settings, I'm hearing to say. So, you know, whatever and what all ever that means, okay? But you've got some clarity that's looking to come to you, okay, about all of this. All right, what just fell out? All right. You might be spending too much time online. Could be the case. You might be spending too much time in your mental state here, Eat Me, in your mental space, excuse me, not state. Could be some significance about one state to the next. And really there needs to be a balance between mental activity and actioning out. You know, could you imagine if you always said, yeah, I'm gonna make change. 3 years later, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make change. And what was the you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be in that loop of a mental cycle, all right, which kind of really just doesn't do much beyond holding you back a bit, okay? So definitely watch that mental space energy and ask for clarity so that you can get better instructions, better guidance regarding your next steps. All right. Because there's some aspects of the path where you're gonna actually be asked to stand up, advocate for yourself, maybe even others, from what I'm seeing from the cards. All right, this could actually be regarding a job offer. Okay, Eat Me. So then action it out. You know what you want to do. All right. And of course, education is power, knowledge is power. I skipped over Sean. I just realized that knowledge, and so powerfully I'm gonna go fix that. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, so that was a yes, and you already know that's the most lucrative way to go about that. influentially as well with the Queen of Wands. Sean, you always coming out. If it ain't the freaking High Priestess, you get them Queens of Pentacles and Wands every time. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Are y'all ready for the success that you already are? I'm talking to everybody right here. Are y'all ready? You're very welcome. Eat me. Ten of Pentacles, Sean. All the way up. Keep going. Might even get a partner. I tried to say in business. I almost said in crime, which I was I was not trying to say. Celebration up ahead though. Good time, Sean. All right, keep going. Get them rewards. All right. You already got them. Just act like it. Tell them about the channel. All right, but I digress. Love and Light, Lane Light Reflections. Should you leave me alone? No, let me stop. Let me stop. I'm like, which kind of jade? What you talk about? The stone? You talk about me? No, I know I'm not the only jade out there. Calm down. I'm just joking. All right, let's see. In all seriousness about jade. Okay, let me see here. Oh. Yep, that's a yes. Okay. Could be some significance to earth sign or air sign or fire sign energy, right? But I'm not even getting that. I'm just getting that this relationship is not going to allow for you to, or this connectionship, or you trying to get this relationship, because it came out sideways, dead ass. Like, so that means like stagnancy, whether this is actually like a full-on connection, something serious or not. I get that you're thinking that it should be, perhaps, and it's giving no, because you would just perpetually stay in the state of like angst, and it's giving you no this. All right. So just, level up and lop off the dead weight kind of thing. Yeah. Ending. All right. So communicate about that. On the other side of that, you get happiness. Okay. And really, I'm just getting, that's about relationship with self first. On the other side of that, you're like, no, yeah, I stepped up to the plate for me. Like, yeah, no, it feels good. Like, I actually really realize that I deserve better than that. Like, I need to sleep, right? And now the universe is like, yeah, on the other side of that. Okay. I'm telling you, it's a level up. It's not a loss. If I do say so myself. And that's not about me on a personal note. Just saying. Okay. I skipped you, P. Oh my goodness. I'm on one tonight. You didn't know I did that on purpose, P? No, I'm just joking. Could you imagine? Like everybody but P tonight because it's Friday night. Just saying. Sorry, P. No. Let me stop. Let me find you in the haystack here if I can, P. If not, you're going to have to resubmit it, all right? I'll give you permission. Don't worry. Oh, I found you. I don't need your name, P. You already know that. Every time you're like, hi, I'm Prom. All right. Let's talk about Mark. Oh, okay. Yeah, usually, I don't know if you've asked about Mark before, P. It must have been a long-ass time. Let's see. Okay. So in time, yes. All right, maybe not overnight. I think you have to give Mark some time to realize some aspects of self before it would ever be a fruitful conversation where it would not give you more swords in your mental space, okay? So allow things to remain as is and just know that the possibility stands. But please know there's divine timing all over this. I mean, judgment even came out at the bottom of the deck because I'm thinking on Mark's side of the fence there. There's got to be some self-actualization, self-realization, some growth. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, P. And you're very welcome, Lane Light Reflections. Yeah, my middle name's Jade, so that's why I was like, wait, what? Who are you talking? What? All right. Okay, you guys, should we go into pile number 2 at 45? And I'm glad it makes sense, Joe. I did not skip Sean anymore, right? Nope, we got Sean. And we're good to go to pile 2. Is that it at 45, you guys? I'm glad it makes sense, P. Okay, pile number 2, 45. Can you guys put Level 8 Sherry 12. What we're doing tonight is love messages. It's a pick a pile situation, and we've gone through pile number 1, which started at minute 4. Okay, and as Fiona was able to put into the chat, we're now starting pile number 2. I will again ring the bell. Please read the description box and make sure that when that bell rings, you know exactly what to do and how to do it. And I can see that, all right? 11:19. Okay, so pile number 2 is for those that would not classify themselves as single. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It's like, this is definitely somebody dealing with somebody, okay, if you're going to resonate with pile number 2, just to let the cat out of the bag, whether that is in the most formal, traditional, relational sense or not, okay, but it's somebody dealing with somebody, okay, with the intention of having a caring connection there. And pile number 1, for those that missed it, was regarding our singles, okay? So the first card out, love has no obligations or expectations. You're being asked to release control, okay, to some degree. Nobody's saying be a doormat. Nobody's saying, like, love everything that somebody is toxically doing or engage in unrequited love. All right, that's not the call here. It's just, you know, being mindful, again, kind of going back to some of us don't really understand exactly what love is. Some of us think that a relational, transactional situation and or connection is love. That's more teetering on codependence and damn sure toxicity, okay? So you've got to really understand that whether or not you're resonating as single here or not. And again, pile number 2, it's not meant that you should be consider yourself single. I'm trying to get both aspects of the fence here regarding love. Be truthful with yourself is coming out, as well as transform your life with self-love. And we've kind of touched on that during pile number 1. But basically the recap here is, you know, you loving yourself first ensures that you're not half-assing any other kind of loving, caring connection. And so, long story short, what that sets you up for, okay, I'm kind of dumbing down some of the spiritual laws and principles, especially regarding manifestation, even manifestation of love, okay? It really sets you up for the highest timeline, the highest outcome, the highest loving connection, okay? Inclusive of, for some, maybe not all, the person on your mind, all right? Bear with me, allergies are like, ugh. So heal yourself and your relationship will heal too. Pretty self-explanatory, you guys. If you're loving someone and you're triggered, the love isn't going to be as far-reaching, as deep, as pure, okay? As pleasant of a situation, of an experience, of a transaction, even, for those that want to keep it transactional. Just saying. You know, healing yourself in a deepened way than maybe moon cycles past, okay? And I get it, it can be frustrating because you're like, you know, some of you are like, I have been doing this for years. Like, I tried. You know, don't give up if that's you, okay? Because as long as you try, you win. Now, what you want to make sure that you're not doing is trying inside of the ring of insanity, Okay, which would be the definition of insanity, is of course doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And so there is something to be said about expectations. It's like, pile number two seems like they just, they probably, to some degree feel like I just can't get it right. It's like, I wholeheartedly expect this, turn right around, never expected that, but bam, that happened, and it's like, I get it. There's a lesson here, and it's about balance, okay? And it's about healing, and it's about self-love. Kind of can't really get around self-love, okay? You cannot avoid, because it's going to show in your money as well as your caring connections. Makes sense? Okay, we talked a little bit earlier, a few moments ago, exactly why that is. So forgive yourself now that you know that. Also forgive others. We don't forgive others because we forget, though, right? Like, it's not a call to ignorance or stupidity. It's a call to power, rightful positioning, in spite of the fuck shit, okay? In spite of the disappointments, in spite of the betrayals, let's talk about it, okay? In spite of, some aspects of neglect. Now, what we're not here to do, again, is to be a doormat for any one person, place, or thing. So, of course, pile number two, we're not talking about, hey, forgive Johnny. He just had a bad day. He just really needed a drink. And it's okay you have a black eye because it didn't really get this so purple as last time. Are you kidding me? That's not love. It never will be. That's so toxic. It's scary. Okay. Please don't be in that line of fire. Love yourself. Okay. And that's how you know. Do I love myself? Right. Well, let's see. Are you stepping up to the plate to make sure that you and those under your rule, some of us have kids, makes sense, are in the safety zone? Well, let's see. If you've got toxic evidence like bruises and cuts and things like that, those are tangible evidence of how that's so not loving and how that's so not right, and how you deserve so much better, and how we're not here trying to help you stay in the ring for another round regarding that. Okay? That ain't love. That ain't even a business, at least on your end of the fence there. I'm sure they're getting a lot of perks on the other side there, but we're not here about the cross watcher or the other person regarding those types of scenarios, are we? No, gone are those days. We're here showing up for us. Makes sense? Remember, live like it. Okay. Miracles happen when you forgive. All right. Now, I didn't say forget. I didn't say get stupid. All right. But when you forgive, you are freeing yourself up. Firstly, you guys, it's about self time now. You know how to take a selfie, right? Live like you know how to love yourself. All right. Selfies don't matter, especially if you're not loving yourself, because you always have way more of a benefit out of loving yourself than you ever will taking the most perfect, if that's a thing, selfie. I need you to know, like, get away from the aspects of ego that are not beneficial. Please don't waste your time at living your life when you can make it what you want of it, beyond that of a selfie, beyond that of a suggestion on a social media platform. Make it real and love it. And by it, I mean your life. Makes sense? Again, your divinity, miracles are happening for you. Okay. Now, surrender to the real you. Who's the real you? Divinity. Some of you need to surrender to the divine. Some of you need to surrender, pile number two, to divine will and, dare I say, divine timing. Some of you have been told, taught, explained, re-explained. You've heard reading after reading about how this person's no good. And yet here we are talking about it. And you want to say, I love myself. Are you sure? All the way? Just do you half-assing that then there? Or love is responsible for its actions. Okay, so if you love you, you're responsible for you, to you, about you. And you don't play about you neither. Why would you when the divine don't? See how there's no severability there? All right. Love is compassionate and respectful. Love is not abusive, traumatic, not even dramatic, dare I say. Okay. Unless you mean regarding the romanticisms. All right. The romantical aspects of the experience. Okay. There could be a lot of passion attached there. Makes sense. Okay. And it could seem dramatic in the sense of, wow, that's the stuff dreams and miracles are made of. Pile number 2. Don't you want to call that in? Forgive me with the sinuses here. Love is kind and just. All right. So now you can measure that against somebody else's actions to understand whether or not they are properly loving you, especially on the other side of actually deepening your intentions to love yourself, pile number 2, or anyone listening and applying this. Okay. To master love, you have to practice love. So practice makes what? Perfect. If it exists. All right. But practice gets you to the point where you don't cast pearls before swine. You don't allow a narcissist to have authority over you when you are the authority. Makes sense? You have the power to create is coming out. Really talking about being able to believe, to beautify your path, being able to believe, to action out those next steps, to get the life and the love and the lover you deserve out of yourself. See, you were trying to... See, you thought it was going to be, you know, focusing on the other person or another person. No, babe, we're still focusing on you. Remember? Live like it, love like it. Makes sense? Okay. And lastly, respect each other's dream. So whoever I'm speaking to, okay, somebody, you know, this might not be everyone regarding the, oh, I'm not single section of the collective, and I get that, but there is something coming through regarding 2 people, you know, that have dreams, goals, aspirations, very headstrong, maybe stubborn, might say. Okay. You could be in the limelight or expecting and intending to be and or templated to be. I mean, I'm not here to restrict you saying, oh, that's, you know, fanatical. You know, you've got jokes. No, I mean, usually, you know, if you're called to something, it's because you're called to something. Makes sense? If you're passionate about something, it's because you're called to it. Makes sense? All right. Um, I'm getting a scenario where 2 people said, you know what, let's just put this on the back burner. I'm not really done with climbing the ladder. Maybe this is, you know, career, work related. Okay. Maybe this is something more dramatical, you know, like celebrity status in that limelight. Doesn't have to be the case. But I see 2 people here that really should be giving the second chance, the idea of a second chance, a second chancer. But you need to accept each other's differences. It's like, well, my dreams, goals, and aspirations are these. And they could be similar to yours, right? You thought, well, what would be the problem? Well, there's only problems if you make them. Simply and solely that, right? There could be some learning lessons and growth that are prerequisites for this getting and staying off the ground. By this, I'm talking about the relationship that you desire. The one you tried to have already with this person. I'm seeing that for some, not all, of the non-single section of the collective, you're in this Tower moment energy. You're in this 8 of Cups energy. You're in this call it quits energy. Some of you are physically separated. You have been. And yet you're called to each other. And you know this, right? It's giving kingdom spouse. Doesn't have to be what you would term it. Not getting that it's like literally like simply and solely twin flame vibes. I'd tell you if it were. This is kind of giving like disgruntled soulmate energy at best, if I were to describe it more specifically. There could be some significance to 8s. I do see 88 here, the number 88. There's also 11 coming out. So there could be some significance to that counterpart energy. But there is definitely high key significance to new beginning. Somebody has been studying up on you regarding those differences, or vice versa. Or maybe both of you are mirroring each other. All right, pile number 2. And so again, the second chance stands. Okay, now let me see, who is this? This person, this could damn sure be counterpart. King and Queen of Cups just came out. What is this? the Ace of Swords over that of the Heartache, the Three of Swords. So, you know, whoever and who all ever reading for, you need to know that second chance needs a closer look. If that's you, if you resonate with that. For pile number 2, I was guided to another oracle deck. Let's see what all this is talking about. It says, where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. Rough time, good outcome. Everything will work out okay. So that's part and parcel of the energy I was picking up on for pile number 2, not part number 2. My God. Could be some significance to camping. Maybe you guys have like a particular campsite where there's maybe some significance about like a campground vibes. Look inside yourself, collective. All you want, you already are. I mean, you'd have to believe that. You understand? Like, it's so important. You get now why I say it's so important to believe in yourself. And that believing yourself is the epitome of believing in divinity and vice versa. Divinity believing in you, because there's no severability. Makes sense? Abundance, resources, your wishes granted. All right, on the other side of this belief. So that's what I'm getting from pile number 2. It's like, okay, whether you're together physically or not, some shit got dull. It happens, okay, right? But tap in, check in, heal up, and make it pretty if you're called to do that. Others, you're called to walk away, and you know who that is, because that's not the first time you probably heard me say this, let alone anyone else, all right, in the spiritual community that's tapped in for sure, reading your energy. Maybe you search the branches for what is only in the roots. Okay, so there's something about like really seeing the full picture, really reading the full room, really tapping in to understand all aspects of self, inclusive of that child energy, dark and light, right? That inner Caillou as well, right? Go deeper. First, it's giving, and then look elsewhere if and when you determine that you need some more. So that's coming through because again, I'm getting like a lot of online time. Not in the sense of like you've got this platform and you've got a lot of views, and no, I'm getting like just OCD with like the internet. Like what now? Then and it's really high time you kick that kind of band-aid here, honey bun, whoever and who I'll ever am really addressing right now, whether you're pile number 2 or not. Okay, that's definitely coming through the channeling. And I think it's because you got to get serious about tapping in and like be specific about like what's going on there and like what you're going to do in your next steps and getting that divinely guided inspiration and downloaded guidance. You need to make room. How could you? And swipe, scroll, picture, selfie, right? Simmer down a bit so you can receive with that receptivity, divine feminine energy, which gives you shit like gifts. Don't you want more? Don't you deserve more of that? Yes, you do. Like you do. Raise your words, not your voice. Okay. So, I get it. You're disgruntled. Some of you, pile number 2, because it's like, well, I had these expectations. This person said that. They were, they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Well, maybe the bargain wasn't fair. Maybe the bargain was not inside of the realm of balance. Because your expectations weren't. How could they be if you weren't tapping in to make sure you were loving you properly in all ways to then be able to not half-ass the situation while you're blaming simply and solely the other person. And I'm not here to sugarcoat shit for anyone, inclusive of my collective. Why? Because I love you guys. I'm not here to lie. All right. So there's that. So, it takes 2 to tango more times than not, right? Even in the empath narcissist dynamic, where it's like all unfair and it's all, super unrequited and, definitely not loving there. It takes the empath's participation to be like, I'm going to actually like fuck with this. I'm going to entertain it. I'm going to succumb to it. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to bend, bow to the situation. Let's be honest. I mean, you have to. It's loving to be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? So, make peace, have empathy, and show kindness and all of that, but do it to and or for you firstly. That's the right and proper course now. These are the new set of instructions in case they feel new to you, all right? Literally. And it's not a call to narcissism. We're not that type of vibe. We're not that type of frequency. You found this channel and you're not a cross-watch. Oh, keywords, yeah. Then you're not a narcissist. If light is in your heart, you will find your way home. So if you blew your top, if you were you know, you raised your voice, you said words, all right, you got to ground down. You got to heal so that you don't do that for the actual one that you're intending to love and the actual one that literally intends to love you. Make sense? All right. So forgive yourself if that's you. It's not, you know, a powwow session. It's not, you know, a call to have a cause to beat yourself up or play the blame game or hate on you. No, the whole time it was a call to love you more. The whole, I don't know where you got that twisted. Please fix it. Okay, I'll wait. Thank you. So use your intuition, return to the past to be your own teacher if that's you, okay? You know where you sidestepped a little too hard to the left, perhaps. Okay, now what are you going to do about it? You're going to heal from it, lesson learned. Make sense? Laugh as much as you breathe. Love as long as you live. Have fun, enjoy, nurture relationships that are worthy of you. And you'll know, especially on the other side of the work, okay? Especially on the other side of the work. Queen of Wands and Nine of Swords. To the Knight of Cups. So pile number 2, I'm not here to word curse, right? I'm also not here to sugarcoat anything. And for what I'm seeing in the cards, babe, this isn't necessarily an overnight feel-good situation, all right? It takes two to tango. I believe that already came out through the channeling. So, you know, stands to reason if one person out of the situation ship or relationship, okay, needs some healing, feels a bit triggered, disgruntled, disappointed, left out, downtrodden perhaps, same deal for the other person. There's potentiality there, just saying. So read the full room, all right? Some of you, you know, you're so focused on your triggered response, feeling the feelings, your emotions, which are valid. I'm not shitting on them. I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, like don't have your own feelings, focus on the other person's feelings and nothing else. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is be mindful that when you are hyper focused on any one thing, there's a lot of things you can miss. So if you are hyper focused on, you know, well, they made me feel this way. Well, I told them this and they still did that, which made me feel like I have to this all the more harder than the last time. You know, learn from that, because doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome, especially when you're trying to go higher vibes, all right, you're not intending to descend, which why the hell would you, right? It's not gonna bode you well that way. Okay, you have control over your actions, reactions, and emotions way more than you ever will regarding this other person. Okay, and so what you need to do, if that's you, pile number 2, you resonate with this, you need to wrangle yourself together enough to communicate in a responsible manner. There's that owning up to, you know, accountability, to then communicate until you and that person both have a better understanding, and that better understanding has been confirmed between each other, and there's no more assumptions, because you know assumptions just make an ass out of everybody. You know what I mean? That's like trying to act like you should be able to forget an offense. No, you forgive it. There's a different kind of F word. All right, And forgiveness is a higher vibes F word than some of the others, okay? And I get it, you know, somebody here flew off the handle. They said what they said, but it doesn't have to be the period at the end of the sentence or the paragraph, right? That solidifies everything to just staying stagnant, staying in that tower moment, in that separation energy. Unless and until you realize on the other side of some of that judgment, okay, on the other side of that self tune up, as it were, that you should in fact leave the connection. And even then, you're being asked to do so in love and in light, not bitterness, not, you know, not no ba 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 ba, like how dare you, you know. You don't really need to engage in toxicity. You can choose to. It's never really going to be as fun as really living your highest vibrational timeline, you know, with those actual caring and actual loving connections on the other side of doing the work. Makes sense? But I digress. Last round for the bell, you guys, and then we're out of here, I promise. Okay. All right, so I don't know if we have any other questions, you guys. I'm sleepy too, I think. I got some more work to do before bed. And that makes me think of that one Golden Girls episode when the girls were singing to one of the babies that they had in their care. I love that episode. I love the Golden Girls, but okay. So if people are not, I don't know. Wait, what did you say? All right, you guys, if you're not following the rules, you know, that's, you know, you don't have to, I guess, right? But you don't get a reading if you're not following the rules. So there's that. So I feel like that's fair. Makes sense. You know, I'm not here to judge if you don't want to follow the rules, right? It's love and light anyhow, I promise. And we just get off here all the more faster, I guess. I don't know. You love the Golden Girls too, Fiona? Yeah, they're like singing around that buggy. I love that. I'm like, bum, bum, and B. Arthur with her baritone. But yeah, mods, you know what? You don't even, if anything, read their live stream rules, because I've been having people come on here and they put it in caps, and I'm not getting the love. You know what I mean? I don't see the numbers there. I just see people put in all caps telling me I'm like number such and such, and then I should give them a free reading. It's so interesting. Gotta love free will, though, I suppose. Your grandma looks like Blanche. I wish to God I was Blanche, but I'm such a Dorothy. I, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't want to be Rose because Rose was limited intellectually a bit. I mean, no hate, no shade. She's cute and all, but and I don't know. I guess maybe I'm like a cross between Sophia and Dorothy. Which either way, it's not really given. I mean, Sophia had the gams, I suppose, but it used to be funny during some of the episodes where there was some friendly, not so friendly competition between Blanche and Sophia. Some of the love interests that they shared, interestingly enough. Oh, those girls get me. You love Sophia. I love Sophia too, but Sophia needs a little bit more of a filter. So I feel like I'm not all the way Sophia. Like, I'm Sophia though, but like I'm not all the way. So I probably, like, if I had to pick one, I'm probably like stuck with Dorothy. That bothers me. I gotta work through that. But I mean, I guess the ultimate goal is not to be a slut. So it's like, probably don't want to just be Blanche. Like, you need balance. Even in Golden Girls, you need balance. Let me stop. Okay, love and light, yeah, Sarah. You say you want to be Sophia when you get older. You're like, Sophia Shine. That's so funny. Your grandma looks like Blanche, and you're over there being wise like Sophia, the wise smart ass Sophia. I love when Dorothy would go like, "Ma," because she knew something was gonna fly out of that woman's face. That should not be said usually, just being honest. Um, she sure. Remember that episode, you guys, where Blanche, like, what did she rented that sports car, and then like called on all the guys, like, okay, well, so and so's looking at it to buy. What do you give me? And trying to get a date out of it. So silly, because men will date a car before. Let me stop. I digress. The show wasn't giving it. Oh, the Golden Palace. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. You probably get mad about this, but I feel like I didn't really like that show. I feel like it was forced. They were trying too hard, It's like, if anything, they should have just kept Coco, the original, like, live-in chef or whatever the hell they used to have at the beginning of the Golden Girls, that, like, all of a sudden was nowhere to be found. He seemed like he could have been a cool character. I love the, what was the other show? Empty Nest. I like the inner workings between, like, Harry Weston, the doctor, and, like, seeing what he did at work and stuff, because, Blanche was always up that guy's ass. Actually, you guys, in that episode where they were taking care of the baby, when they were singing that Sandman, you guys remember? The baby got sick, and Blanche was all like, "Is my nightie?" Like, and it's like, the dude's coming for the baby, Blanche. Like, calm down. Baby's, like, actually actively trying not to die. You're, like, worrying about, like, the way your breasts look in the nightgown. She's so bad. Yes, I loved Empty Nest for a couple reasons. Yeah. Oh my God, yes, when they were buying condoms, Rose, condoms. The guy's like, calm down, lady. I feel like that sometimes. Again, going back to Dorothy. God damn it. All right. Let me see here, Yasser. I'm sorry. I see you, babe. Let me get your question. Oh, my Saturday nights, I don't remember, but I remember, like, originally, like, back in the ancient days. No, let me stop. Salary increase after probation. It better. Let's see here, Yasser. Oh, well, that's a quick, and that's a quick, divinely inspired yes with the High Priestess, and as it should be, Yasura. All right, Wheel of Fortune working in your favor, not against it. Okay, so congratulations on that increase. You're very welcome. Love and light to you. What did I want to say about how y'all got me going down a rabbit hole? Golden Girls. I know that's right. Shoot, I respect that. I respect their game. Like, go ahead with the condoms. You need them too? Go ahead. There should be enough for everyone. God forbid they had a shortage that day. Shit, somebody was going to have a whole conniption. I forget. I was going to say something about, let me read again because it'll help me remember probably. Hold on. And they were buying, oh, I know what I wanted to, wait, you were going to say picture it, Brooklyn, New York 2000. Oh my God. I'm done. So now I'm like, Sean, see, don't get me started because I'm over here like, why don't you paint? Who did you say? You said your grandma. Why don't you paint your grandma as... You could do the Golden Girls version of you and your grandma. That'd be fun. That'd be a pretty cool gift, especially if your grandma, I mean, if she's still around. I mean, not to be disrespectful, I guess I shouldn't have assumed. But, that might be a pretty cool gift if you both like the Golden Girls. Shoot, I want one. No, let me stop. I don't want me a Dorothy, I promise. be all looking all sad with my resting bitch face, completely accurately, like, looking like Dorothy. That's the part that kills me. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, face. Oh, my God. And you know what else, you guys? I really love the episode where they thought they were stranded on the island with those guys. And they're all like, like Dorothy says something about her mom. They're like, your mom's still alive. And you had to share that bathroom. That was so funny. And then that's the episode that made me respect Rose. I said, oh, okay, Rose, I see you. She said, listen here, you're gonna respect. She was like, what's his name on South Park? She talk about you gonna respect my authority, basically. Like, damn, she meant that shit. Even Dorothy was like, okay. I said, Rose got it in her. Don't underestimate her. She just takes a while to start cooking up there, I guess. Gotta get her gusto, her second wind or something. Because she sure was in charge of that island right before they realized they was back behind a restaurant somewhere. I definitely want to go on a cruise. I don't know if there's actually like a Golden Girls cruise. I never thought of that. But you guys, the restaurant I want to go to in New York, if they still have that up, I should check. I don't think it was supposed to be like a I don't think it was supposed to be a temporary thing. I think they installed it as like an actual restaurant. There's like a Golden Girls themed restaurant, right? I want to go there. Wouldn't that be cool if we just met up there? I could do cards in the back somehow. Let me stop. That'd be fun though. I used to do Golden Girls episodes. Maybe I should start now that we've got a bigger family. That's a lot of editing though, but I'll do it though. I want to get back to the happy pills too. I don't know if you guys were around in the early stages. I used to have like a whole lineup of programming, as it were. I think we had Mystic Mondays and I think we had Tarot Tuesdays. I forget what was Wednesday. We had the Happy Pill messages, Self Care Sunday, and I think it was Cartoon Saturday or some shit like that. I don't know. I'll have to see what my guidance team wants to get back into. I think I'm gonna pull the happy pills out again, you guys, because I don't know, they're fun for me. Fuck it. I just think those guys are so cute, and I got more than one of them now, so it's like I feel like they should be used. I packed them up though, if you guys remember. Before the move, I packed them up pretty early because I was like, well, not a staple necessity. And I still have yet to unpack them in the new studio, but that is one of the things. I hope you guys don't mind. It's going to be brought back around because they're fun, I think. I do have the Golden Girl deck, and that's the one that I actually have a couple of them, and I use the erotic tarot for Blanche's bedroom section of the you guys are going to get me back onto that. I got some props and stuff you wouldn't even believe, but I had to pack most of it up, and it kind of stayed that way. I'm going to be thinking about some next steps. All right, Aisha, love and light to you, babe. Let's see about Chris. I didn't see you come in there. So sorry. All right, so Chris, reaching out, that's a yes, specifically to, oh, you guys fighting? 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Chris is going to reach out, and basically it's not going to be for funsies. It's going to be for a long time. They want wish fulfillment, which looks like something formal, something traditional. It looks like a connection. All right, they're passionate for you and about that connection. And this seems to be part and parcel of some sort of fate that you two work together, come together. Okay, have that resolution, resolve. All right. So that's what I have for you, Aisha. Thank you for your patience. And here we go, Sherry. Okay, let me see here. If Pat is tracking you seriously, or tracking Pat. Okay, I'm not sure if I understand that, but let's see about Pat, yes or no. Well, I got a very dramatic and emphatic no coming out. regarding your question. It's the Five of Cups. Okay, so with that no coming out indicating Five of Cups, I'm sorry, is it Five of Cups? Yeah, this is like despair. This person could have intended to keep you from a connection or a happy, safe situation involving home, the homestead, and or connection. And it just won't work. So no, not tracking you, but basically you've got divine assistance. Okay, this life is far more spiritual than you might realize, that are protecting you. Okay, and keeping it so that this person is not able to track you. Okay, that's what I got for you. Love and Light Sherry, 12. All right, let's see here. There's a Golden Girl cruise and there was a musical. I'm not gonna lie, I think I might have known about the musical, but I was like, because it's not literally the girls, right? Like, if I want the girls to be in a musical, I can easily go to the show. Like, when they were, the hen, the chicken, the fox, and all of that, right? That was another fond episode when they were doing the children's book. That's so me-coded, though, dead ass. I'm glad I actually was speaking about that, because in certain instances, I am Rose. I'm like all the girls, really. In certain instances. But when she got upset, when she realized that basically, like, the sky was falling, and like one of the characters, I think, was like supposed to die, and she was like, yeah, no, we're not. She was like, no, like, we can't, they're children, kind of thing. And they're like, that's how the story goes. Like, you didn't read. But she got so upset beside herself. I'm like, that's so me coded. Like, I will just really have a conniption about like something that seems unfair, or like unnecessarily painful, especially involving children. For goodness sakes, come on now. I think we're all like Rose in that regard, right? She, like a big, a big. Speaking of inner child, you guys, watch the Golden Girls and watch Rose. Like, she's like the epitome of like, here's how you vibe with your inner child unapologetically, like as a grown-ass adult. Like, it's not even about like dumbing shit down to the point where you're just like, not with it. It's in fact quite thrillingly not the case. Okay, fuck around and find out, you guys. So I don't know what's going on. I just got a notification talking about welcome to the chat. So I don't know if I went somewhere and just didn't know with the technology, but I'm gonna hop off here because it is getting late and I'm not even done with my day, which is already tomorrow. So I was guided to come on. I'm glad I did. It was a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you too enjoyed yourselves. And I definitely look forward to the next live stream, you guys. Go to bed. Rest, relax, take in the message, okay? Take heed, you guys. I want more than just the good that you know up to this point for you. Please and thank you. All right, because your wins are my wins, and my wins are your wins, and we're all connected. We're all in this together, and we're all winning. All right, there's nothing else on the menu, in case you noticed. I'm happy to report that, though. So there's no problem and no worries. All right, rest well. I love you guys. Mwah! Love and light.